Good evening. At this time, I'd like to call a regular meeting to the Inland Wetlands Commission to order. The time is 7:01 and the date is November 5th, 2025. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Ally?
Eileen McKean.
Nick Kern.
Jim Vitale?
Deborah Phillips.
Michael Caruso.
Jeffrey Necchio.
Jim Heilman.
Aaron O'Hare, environmental planner.
Okay. We'll go on to consideration of the minutes of the October 1st meeting. Is there any comments or corrections to the minutes?
I have one. Just I noticed the motions weren't bolded. It helps. Some of the motions, we typically bold the motions, so just to bold them.
I could do that.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
bold, just put the motions in bold font.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't think, fine, if you want to put it in bold spots, but why is that? Where does it go? Where does who's going to see it in bold?
Well, it's just practice. We always bold the minutes, the motions. That's all.
Yep, which I did not do.
Right, so you're going to re-enter them and with bold in the motion.
Yes.
All right, any other comments?
Mr. Chairman, under present, my last name ends with a O.
I did see
Necchio.
that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'll fix
you.
that, Mr. Necchio.
Okay, any other comments? I don't think we need a motion to correct those.
Thought we could.
All right, any other,
I could go for a motion from Ms. Phillips, and I'll put them in bold and underlined for the motions. And I'll correct the spelling of Mr. Necchio's name and any other misspellings I may find.
okay. Fine.
Ms. Phillips,
You want a motion on it?
I'm asking for one,
We're asking to make a motion to accept the changes to the minutes,
if you
please.
could.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that the minutes of the regular meeting on October 1st, 2025 be accepted as submitted with the corrections Ms. Burns has made.
Second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Call for a vote. Nick?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Yes. And those will be the primary voters for tonight's meeting, the regular meeting, the regular members of the commission.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, going into old business is A 1933.7 Center Street ready for bond release?
No, the easy answer is no. Would you?
Okay, so the answer is no. Okay, application A 24-2.1, Fergie, 155 East Street, Fergie, is that ready for a bond release?
Yes.
Okay, so any conditions, it's just okay
Yep.
to release? A motion to release?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that application A24-2.1, 155 East Street, Ferdy Management Corporation, the bond will be released.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion made and second, any discussion? Call for a vote. Nick?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, application A 25-9.1 for Kaczerski Drive, Nathan Myers. Now, I went over this with Aaron and we granted it approval. So unless the commission thinks we shouldn't have, but it seemed to be pretty straightforward. Item 4, application A 25-9.2, 25 Dana Boulevard, Dominic Cernisi, construction of a patio facility. Are they here tonight?
Yes.
Come on forward. Oh, I think That's the other one. Yeah, no, I could use, I guess, that I didn't have. Okay, couple things, you gotta talk into the mic, and name and address for the record.
I think you would say that because your name's on the permit.
So I'm on the permit, Dominic Serignes. This is through Torrison Stone and Garden in Durham.
I'm sorry, could you repeat your name?
Dominic Serignes.
Thank you.
Okay, and
Who is your other person, please?
Dylan LaPlace, landscape designer for the project.
Could you spell your last name?
LAPLACE.
Capital P in the middle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. I'm sorry, please go ahead.
okay, why don't you give us a little history of what you got going on, or what you're planning?
Sure. So basically, the client came to me. They have an existing deck. There once was a above-ground pool there. The pool has been since removed. We are proposing to remove the existing deck and install a series of 2 different patios to expand the outdoor living space for the client. There will be a series of outdoor retaining walls as well. There will also be a pergola and a fireplace included in this project. The base for all of the patios will be a permeable base so that the water can infiltrate into the ground, minimizing the impact to the wetlands.
All right, and you're up in the upland review area of the property.
That is correct. Roughly 80% of our work is in the upland review.
Okay, Aaron, do you have any comments regarding this?
Well, my environmental planners report went out in Friday night's packet. And as far as the patio installation is concerned, which Dylan just described, I have no issue with that per se. It does come a little close to the wetland line, but I don't think meaning to fit the equipment, the construction equipment through there, but I think it'll be fine. There are other issues on this property. Would you like me to go into that, Mr. Chairman?
What's on this property?
There are other issues on this property. Should I go ahead?
How do they affect the wetland situation?
Okay, well, as in my environmental planners report, I go out and look at every application that comes in, and went out, I was shocked to see that the wetlands had been clear cut. I had been out to this property about 7 years ago for the former owner, not this owner, there's a new owner. And because that owner at that time had an above-ground pool, and he wanted to take down some trees to put more sun on his pool, and I said, well, I don't think the Wetland Commission, you can apply, but I don't think the Wetland Commission would want to, typically we don't remove trees in a wetland, and in your case, it is a conservation restricted wetland. This was part of the Wallingford Chase Terrell Farm subdivision. Back in 1990 was approved, and a 79-lot subdivision, big subdivision development. But at the time, it was felt that some of these lots, we better not make them that small, or better make bigger lots because the rear of the lots are wetlands. So it was decided, no, we'll just put a conservation easement restriction on the rear of these lots in the wetlands so that the owners will keep the wetlands intact. And I have I attached a drawing to the report that shows how 5 lots come together and there's a conservation easement on top of all the wetlands. However, in this case, and why I feel comfortable saying to the commission, you can move forward tonight with this if you want to, is because the law department has said that there's 2 issues, there's 2 matters here. One is the improvement of their yard with this patio, and the other is the violation. But she said they can be handled as they should be handled as 2 different matters because the violation was by a previous owner. So we're going to work that out later.
Okay, so the commission will handle just the patio situation tonight? Is that agreeable? Okay, so you have no issues with the patios, the way they've drawn it, and everything's under control?
No, I have no issue with it.
Okay, then I'll entertain a motion regarding this significant activity.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself from this vote.
Okay, then I will select Jimmy to vote on your behalf.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that application A 25-9.2, 25 Dana Boulevard, Dominic Sergnis, the removal of the pool deck and construction of patio facility be deemed not a significant impact activity.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made, any second, is there any further discussion, or any discussion? Okay, then I'll call for a vote. Nick?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Now I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Oh, I need a fifth vote.
How many do you need?
Did Mr. Vitale vote?
Yes,
I'm sorry, I did not hear it.
He was the loudest, yes.
yes.
I have Nick, Mrs. Phillips, Mr. Caruso, Mr. Howman, and now Mr. Vitale.
Right,
Thank you so.
thank you. Okay, now I'll entertain a motion to approve or deny.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that application A 25-9.2, 25 Dana Boulevard, Dominic Sergnis, removal of pool deck and construction of patio facility be approved as submitted.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, any discussion?
Do we have to do significant activity here or no?
Yeah, we did.
Just did.
That first.
That was, okay. Sorry.
You were the loudest. Better than that. All right, motion's been made, seconded, there's no other discussion, call for a vote. Nick?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay, I guess you're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, receipt of the new application, we have a receipt for 1175 South Broad.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, before you move on about the 1175 South Broad, I was wondering if the commission would be predisposed to take a site walk of that property.
Well, what concerns you that a site walk is necessary?
Oh, for two reasons. One is I feel for the applicants in that they have struggled to get an acceptable application since March. In other words, there was a variance, no, you don't need a variance, a lot of back and forth. That was one.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with wetlands?
Oh, well, and I'm leading to the other. The other is, on this property is one of those unique ravines that we have in Wallingford.
I know the property very well.
With the walls like this.
Yeah.
So, but in order to appreciate the closeness, that they're proposing a structure rather close to the ravine, and, you know, I think it's important to see it in the flesh to judge whether or not it'll be okay.
Yeah, but our regulations, where does the upland review line start?
Well, okay, but if there's the front part of the ravine, the south portion of the ravine is less than 50% grade, right? Maybe like this. But the northern part is 70% grade. They admitted 70% grade. It's really steep. So in that case, and the southern part is just 50 feet back like regular. At the northern part, it would be 50 feet back from the crest of the ravine, which sends it way back. So,
I thought it was halfway up. Jimmy, what was the measurements on that? It didn't start at the top of the slope. It started halfway up or something.
Actually, it was the slope itself. If it was within the boundary of the wetland upland review area, it forced the origins of the upland review to begin at the top of the slope and count from there back 50 feet
The top.
from the top
I
of the
wasn't
slope.
sure if it was the top or halfway back or something.
right, and the drawing is in the regulations. It is kind of confusing, but we have that little diagram.
Are they satisfying that regulation?
Well, that's the upland review area, so they're not, you don't have to stay out of it. You just, you know, they've applied to come quite close to the ravine. In other words, it's considered the upland review area. It's not a no-go zone, so they're allowed applicants are allowed to try to get a permit. And of course, the commission has the right to try to move it back, say, okay, we like the rest of your proposal, but you might want to move it back X amount of feet from the ravine, or not. Or you might want to put up a berm or vegetation or something, I don't know.
Are you accurate on your north and south descriptions of the property? Because I thought the southern part of that property, it had the steeper ravine, not the opposite.
No, yes, I'm accurate, yes.
You were backwards.
I've been out there twice, yes, yes.
Yeah, but you announced that it was the northern part of the property is where it was almost level ground.
No, the northern part is the steeper one at 70%.
The northern is the 70%?
Yeah.
And the southern is what?
Anywhere from 45 to 35%. They have a topo map. The
Yeah, you
top-
can see it on the topographic map. Just looking at it, there's one section here, right near the point at which the drainage occurs. You have an area that's 16 feet distance, and it drops 16 feet over a 20-foot distance. It's 20 foot to an inch, so I think it was about 1.25 inches here. And it's dropping 16 feet, so that area is just about on the boundaries, I think, of the 45% slope. But if you go north, which is where they want to have the activity, if I'm not mistaken, that's where the slope actually would require them to extend the upland review. And I think it's important to mention, and Aaron just pointed it out, it doesn't require us to disallow it. It only requires us to look at it to see if it's okay to do it. And that depends a lot upon whether or not we would look at a site like that, literally look at it and say, you want to do that here? That's not a real good idea, because erosion would be a very serious concern with what's below. That's where you have to make an assessment of what damage could it potentially do. And it's the potential damage that we're here for before it happens. And so I look at this and say, well, geez, the wetland area here is highly contained, but how much do you want to potentially have damage it? I'd be happy to go out and look at that.
I don't have a problem with that, but the way she described it, I felt it was wrong. She's talking about the northern end of the slope to being steeper than the southern end of the property.
Well, that's what the contour lines are showing on the map. They're much closer together. The closer they are together, each contour line is, I think, 2-foot drop.
Well, I
And
know.
the closer they are together, the steeper the slope. The farther they are apart, the more gentle the slope. And as you look from the bottom right corner of this ravine, not where they're going to work, it's a much more gentle slope. But as you move northward, those lines are getting closer and closer and closer, which is an absolute indication of steepness that you're looking at. And so I think I suspect that the wetland area here is not the most pristine kind of thing you'd want to conserve. But then again, I don't know.
I think the only wetland you have is the brook, which is sitting on Red Rock.
That's probably the limitation of its carving down through the sediments.
But I do know this property well, and to me, that ravine where the driveway goes through, you don't want to step off it.
Yeah.
So does the commission want to have a site investigation or not? Or do they want to go visit it by themselves? Trouble is now, you got to be out there 4 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock. What's the commission feel?
Well, if anyone else wants to go, I'd be happy to join them.
You want to have a site investigation? All right, so site investigation now comes down to what day? Next week, I would almost think. I'm probably up for Tuesday next week. 5, 6, 7. How's Tuesday next week?
What's the date, Jim?
think that's the 11th.
Aaron, are you working Veterans Day?
11th. But he just said it's Veterans Day, that's, I don't know, is that good for people or not good for people?
It's fine with me.
It'd be okay for me.
All right, Veterans Day may be a good time. Want to go earlier than 5? You want to go 4 o'clock?
Dark.
Is that okay, Nick?
4:30?
4:30? 4:30? Sure.
Time does it get dark?
What?
What time does it get dark?
Oh,
I'm
gets
in the
dark.
building, so it's always dark when I leave, but,
If there's no clouds, it doesn't get dark till 5:30. So you can see outside between 5 and 5:30.
I'll bring a big light.
so are we still on for 4:30? Or does it want to, I don't think it wants to be a Saturday at noon. Okay, Tuesday, the 11th at 4:30.
Is there anyone present tonight representing the owner?
no,
No.
no,
So Ms. O'Hare will tell the owner.
yes. And I have to post it, too. I'll post it tomorrow, because it's a special meeting for the commission. Chairman, do we want rain or shine, or what are we talking about here?
What's that again?
Rain or shine?
I would think so, Aaron, only because you're running out of choices.
Well, we could do if it rains, we could do the next Tuesday at 4:30 as well. I mean,
Tuesday's supposed to be a sunny day, Monday's rain. It's
Okay.
supposed to be a sunny day Tuesday, Wednesday.
okay, all right.
Yep. Okay,
Aaron, I got a question for you.
Yes,
If we give them permission to go that close to the edge of the bank and there's a problem, are we liable for it?
well, are you talking about somebody, an accident, someone falling down, or?
Driving off the edge or whatever?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
okay. Let's move on. Aaron's working on the discussion for fines, violation, or the proposal to adopt fines for violation, but you're gonna work on what the dollar amount is also, right?
Oh, I have that, but I don't know how many towns do you want? I have about 10 towns.
It's just a summary of something.
Okay. Actually, I have a question for Commissioner Kern. Did you mean about liability if we're out there and we fall down the ravine, or you mean if we're during construction?
No, if we give them permission to go that close to the bank, are we liable for that? If
Okay.
something happens?
All right, that's what I thought you meant. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well,
Okay, nothing's changed on Farm Hill Retention Pond?
No, that's the Kevin, the town
That's,
planner's doing that.
Well, then, application form revisited? Nothing much there either. Okay, let's get on to, I'm gonna take what I was having you in just a moment, but I think the rest of the violations, is there anything that needs to be discussed, or do we vote on leaving them intact?
Well, now that you mention it, 55 Kondraki Lane hasn't sold yet.
What difference does that make?
Because we met with the prospective owners, and they were,
Okay, it's not ready to be taken care of, correct? What about, Little K's? You were gonna get that straightened out with Janice on
I
Little
have
K's.
asked many times.
And what'd she say?
There's no response. I mean, I've asked in memo form.
Okay. So, at this point then, I'll entertain a motion to leave all item, I in effect.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that all the items in violations, section I, remain in effect.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote. Nick?
yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now we'll go item H. Item H is Woodhouse Avenue. It was time spent on it last week, but didn't allow them have time to make a presentation. So they would like to make a presentation tonight.
Which one is this one?
360 Woodhouse.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm just gonna be handing these out.
I just want to let you know that I'm allowing this information to be handed out because this comes under a violation rather than an application, which who knows, it may end up to be turned into something like that.
You got enough for everybody? Yeah, okay.
Okay, Araceli Tello. And who's the gentleman?
Sure, I'd like one, yes, thank you. That would help me follow along, thank you.
Who?
Really fucking small.
Oh, yeah.
I got trouble. Of course, I don't think too much is going to be decided tonight. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. For the record, I'm David Lord. My company is Soil Resource Consultants in Meriden office. I've been retained by the landowner verbally on the 24th, and I visited the site for the first time since the previous iteration with this commission, approximately 5 days later, to take a look at the existing conditions there. I've reviewed the application file and the documents that are in effect. I'm not sure how the commission wants to proceed. I can talk in regards to the elements that have been summarized in the October 14th cease and desist order amended decision, or I can respond to questions by the commission or staff.
Well, I think that the violations associated with this property got voted on last time, starts with the chicken coop. Now, that was voted back in June or earlier that to be removed from wetlands. Okay, so that hasn't been done.
Correct.
So then he received the permit for a pool, which included so many feet of patio. I'm going to say 4 feet because I don't know any more than that. I mean, without.
To be honest with you, I'm not that familiar with it
So
because.
he got a permit for a pool with a patio and a fence.
Yes.
And then when he put the patio in, he multiplied that distance by 10 times. He got a permit for a pool house, so many square feet, and he doubled the size of the pool house. So he threw out what permits he had, really, he disregarded them and just went on about his business and did whatever he wanted to do. Now, the drainage situation associated with this property, it looked like there was a swale, if I recall, it looks like a swale was created and piping running water and sending water down the stream to the adjacent property. And we had testimony stating that at one point was a problem on Woodhouse Avenue, that stream, not necessarily totally caused by this, but there was a problem.
Yes, I've seen that ditch in the.
So I don't know what you're going to tell us, because we saw your maps from previous education, and he's in the upland review, and he didn't do what he had a permit for, and that's the problem. So I don't know if he needs a wetland person, or if he needs an attorney or an engineer, or he needs to, who knows, create a retention pond. I mean, it's just the way that it's done and how it's done, it's not acceptable to the commission. We're not questioning your wetland flagging, okay?
I understand that, and I understand the limitations that I have at this point, because I am still reading the file, reading all the information, and doing assessment site investigations to make determinations, to come up with conclusions. What I do have for the commission tonight is several points that are contained in the October 14th cease and desist order that, again, we're going to say are going to be followed immediately. And the first of those is the removal of those two buildings, the chicken coop and the shed building, which in my file, it was approved to be relocated in August of last year.
Yes.
And shortly after that, I dropped off any connection with the project. I would drive by and I'd see the sheds were still there, and I wasn't aware that other things were going on. So with that in mind, I'll just, again, state for the record, I've talked with Mr. Tello, and he is in the process of starting to remove the chicken coop and the shed structure out of the wetlands to replace them in the grass lawn area that was shown in detail back in 2024 of August in my reports and the like. So, and I will be following up with Mr. Tello about getting that done.
Good.
Mr. Chairman, that's good news. I understand that's good news, but I just want to point out, as a little housekeeping, previously, it was stated that Mr. Tello would need a permit, that he'd have to apply with a permit and show the location of where he wanted to put those units, but now, I guess I need clarification to David. I think David Lord was saying within the upland review. Are you saying totally, David, are you saying totally outside the wetland jurisdiction line or within the upland review area?
At this point, I'm saying we're going to move the structures outside of the wetland, basically in
Well, do you have that from your August of a year ago meeting? Was it
yes,
on a map?
from August of 2024, I have those locations identified.
So
I have
she should have
photographic
that.
reference.
You should have that from 24.
Yes, we've
Yes.
been,
I
yes,
think what-
absolutely, but
And
now,
where is it now? Where,
what the issue is, at the last meeting and the last two meetings, several meetings, this commission said, no, you got to get it out of our jurisdiction. We don't want that coop and that shed in the upland review area. You had your chance to put it there, as David Lord represented now and represented last summer, the previous summer, to put it there, but no, you've overstepped the bounds, you've kept on going, so no. And you voted to get it out. So, but we can amend that order, and now he could put it in there. I mean, you'd have to amend, as Commissioner Kern was fully aware, you were very adamant about that, but we can amend that.
Well, no, we did want them out of, we wanted them both. We didn't want them in the upland review area, we didn't want them in the wetlands.
Correct.
What is this, a joke, Aaron? Can you read this?
I know what you're referring to.
What?
What are you referring to?
I can't even see it. I can't see anything that's on the print.
I have a few bigger copies if you need them.
Well,
I don't have enough for everybody, but
let's see where this is going, because this may not even be of any value tonight. You may be given a full set of plans with some more information on it.
Oh, this is the same plan that you got in your packet, it's just a little bigger. But this, what I'm holding in my hand that went out in the packet, basically shows from the Giuliano office their ideas of where to redirect stormwater. It doesn't show the coop being moved at all.
correct. The only thing that's changed is the redirection of the water by the garden and the shed.
you know, we've danced around this day for over a year, what needed to be done, and we were going nowhere with it. So we decided that it would be better to get them both out of our jurisdiction and then start from there. Because, and then there's a drainage pipe that drains that wetland area behind the house and runs out to Woodhouse Avenue. It's in a red print on this print. They need some guidance of what needs to be done and in sequence it should be done. So I don't know if you can help them with that, or they need to get a.
Yes, that's a little bit further down in the list that I'm going to be talking about tonight. Giuliano's office is working on the computations and the engineering that's necessary to support what is being proposed to be done. It's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is a plan alternative to take that drainage water and move it around the north side of the existing house and discharge it to the intermittent watercourse channel that runs parallel to Woodhouse Avenue, north of the north of the existing house and then westerly to that watercourse channel. That's the intended goal. I believe the discharge drainage that became the issue was the one it's in existence and was directed southerly from the driveway between an existing garden and the shed structure. That's not what we are proposing to do. We're going to take it through the upland area and take it down along the north side of the property and connect it to the watercourse channel there. What that will do is that will give us a greater capacity discharge soil because it's a stable, flat bottom, drainage, intermittent watercourse channel to receive that water. The water that's going to be coming out of there is not the same as what you see from a storm-related discharge point, where you have an intensive storm on an impervious surface and you collect a lot of water in a drainage pipe and you discharge it in that manner. This is groundwater that we would be collecting along the east side of the existing pool structure at a reasonable depth, 3 to 4 feet. Again, I'm going a little bit out of my area, but that volume of water is to keep the area around the pool dry, so you do not have hydrostatic lift of the pool structure from water that collects underneath it. We have soils which have hard pan conditions. Water does not go vertical past the upper couple, 3 to 4 feet at the most. It then tends to travel laterally. We're going to collect that water to protect the structure of the pool and discharge it, again, north and west along the north side of the house.
So then what you're saying is you're going to drain the wetlands behind?
No.
How do you stop it from draining the wetlands?
The soils that we have here are not going to be drained by the drainage pipe we're talking about. These are tight soils. They do not have good internal drainage. If you're out on the site during a rainstorm, the water does not soak into the ground. It moves laterally. And the overall overland flow in the wetland behind this property is southerly to southwesterly in that tall grass area. The drainage that's here is going to pick up the immediate area of the pool and convey that out. It's not going to affect that distance between where the drainage material, not a pipe, the drainage material is, and the wetland is not going to have an effect on drying out that wetland system. It just doesn't work in these kinds of soils.
Okay, continue on.
The removal of the hot tub in the eastern 25-foot section of patio is being worked on to calculate and how it's going to be changed from its present condition. We'll have that information for you in the future. We have to do more measurements and determinations, both myself and Giuliano's office, before we can present that information for you.
If I could, Mr. Chairman, I just realized what the order David's going in. He's reading off the cease and desist decision letter that went out October 14th that reflects all the motions this commission made on October 1st. So he's going down, I have a copy of it here, he's going down bullet by bullet by bullet. That's what he's doing. So he's responding to the orders that were handed out at the last meeting. I just wanted to clarify that.
Evidently, I didn't make that totally clear. I referenced the October 14th cease and desist order as it was amended, and these are the points that are listed there.
Okay.
I'm not sure what,
No, that's fine. You got more points there?
yes, decrease in size of the pool house to 10 feet by 20 feet. That is in the process of being done at the present time. The roof is off of the structure, and the walls are going to be reconfigured. We'll have a specific drawing of how that relates to the overall project site as we move forward. But it's in the process of actually being reduced in size. Installation of pool safety fence, it's a little out of my realm, but we'll make sure that it
It's
is.
out of our realm too, because he had a permit to put the fence up the first time around. When he got a permit for the pool, he got a permit for the fence. The original pool had a fence around it, right, Aaron?
Yes.
So that's a moot point. That was out of our jurisdiction
Okay.
for this thing.
And the last point, the consultant engineer regarding completion of the drainage plans on the property and to remove all the unpermitted drainage that is there now within 30 days. That's in the process. Giuliano is working on that information. I've also looked at I'll call it the southern drainage ditch, or the drainage that conveys water to in the southern direction. That's going to be backfilled and taken out, and no longer going to feed water in that direction. Those are the highlights of the points from the cease and desist order. I'd be happy to answer any additional questions that you have, but it is actively being worked on. We are responding to the cease and desist order, and we will be generating new information for the next session of the commission
Okay.
to deal with this.
Are you / Giuliano going to submit a site plan, easy that we can understand the changes or what the final diagram or what the final outlook is going to be?
Yes, Giuliano just asked for a little bit more time on it. He wasn't able to get everything done.
You're already
in time.
past your 30 days, so you need more time.
Yeah, so we're working on that and hopefully have that by the next meeting.
At the next meeting, in other words, I don't want to say you're going to be submitting an application, but the site plan is going to have similar things that you would have had on an application, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
it will tell you
The whole story.
what we're doing, how we're doing it, and where we're doing it,
And the time frame,
and a time frame.
and where the chicken coop is going. You want to go over that one again? Because at some point it says upland review area, another
Yes,
point
that
it says
that would be a good point of information.
could be outside of the
It was
upland
my
review area.
intention to remove those two structures to the location that was addressed in August of 2024, which is outside the limits of the wetland. It's in an existing grass lawn area that's relatively flat. The issue is the northern side of the house, there's more slope involved with that. And that's all I can say about that at this point. But it's our intention to the east of the existing driveway head. We're moving it there. It's going to be a few feet, and we'll have that in detail, how many feet from the pavement?
Hang on a minute. Okay, commissioners, you understand there's a little snag right now. August of last year, a year ago, he could put the chicken coop in the upland review area. As of October 14th, that was no longer available. It's got to be outside the upland review area. Where would the commission like the chicken coop to be?
Outside the jurisdictional area.
Outside the jurisdictional. Mike?
I'm fine with that.
With what? Outside the
With that,
jurisdiction?
Commissioner, yes.
Jeff?
I agree.
Jimmy?
I agree.
Carolyn?
Yes, I also agree. Thank you.
Alan?
Same here.
Nick?
Dave, you talk about jurisdictional area. Are we talking about upland review and the wetlands, or are we just talking about wetland area? Because I don't think there's much property that if you're looking at the lot from Woodhouse Avenue, on the left side, there's a retaining wall there. So you wouldn't be able to put it over there. I don't see anywhere this gentleman's gonna put his chicken coop, but it's not gonna be in the middle of his front lawn. So I believe the chicken coop and the shed need to disappear or be demolished, because there's no place actually you could put them unless you can find some place with Chris Giuliano that you can stick them that's out of our jurisdiction. That's fine.
Why don't you, you got 30 days to answer that question. Okay?
Mr. Chairman?
Fine.
I'd like to just go back, I'd ask a question about the pool itself. Are they creating a curtain drain around the base of the pool?
Yes, it's well, I shouldn't say it's fairly, it's standard with in-ground pools that there is a drainage line around the pool and draining material, free draining material underneath an in-ground pool, collects the water and takes it away, so that you do not have the water that's in the soil lifting the pool.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. My question was, is it completely around the pool? Because if it's not, you'll create differential hydrostatic pressures.
No, it would have to be, it would have to be entirely around the structure.
Otherwise, it'd crack the foundation and, yeah, it has to be uniform.
Yes.
As long as it's around that whole base, I have no concern.
Mr. Chairman, if I may? There, while David Lord is here, it's important to straighten something out. I mean, I like the fact that movement is some progress is happening, but we have to establish, everyone has to establish where that upland review area line is, because there's one line based on David Lord's wetlands from a year and a half ago, and then there's another line based on the second soil scientist, his name is Ian Cole, from a few months ago.
Whoa. The second one didn't show up for last meeting. I don't know if his is any value. He isn't here to testify on his behalf.
No, I understand that, but right now, this map shows Ian Cole's.
Well, I'm not going to try and struggle through this map. They can work it out through, because they do have the two numbers. It's interesting, the two lines are parallel, but they're not over top of each other.
They're parallel, and for the areas flag number 21 to 16 to 21 in the Ian Cole drawing are consistent with what I flagged in the field. The difference begins in the area of the existing chicken coop, where he went around the chicken coop structure. Then he comes back further into the existing vegetation southerly towards the shed. And where I'm at the front of the shed, the north side of the shed, he's more towards the south end of the shed. So there is a difference in the areas of the two structures that we're talking about. But in the pool, it's the same.
Okay.
We can clarify that line for you and put it on the drawing that we'll be putting together so that you have one consistent line.
Well, I think that's important to get a site plan that we can read, we can understand, and it's got to be in her hands to go out in the packet the Friday before the meeting, because it won't be accepted at the meeting.
Yes, and I apologize for that. There just physically was not enough time from the time I got involved again with the project and the deadline for your submission to put
Right.
anything together.
You see where the commission's coming from, you see their concerns. You don't have much more information to share with us at this point, because you're going off the bullets of the last meeting, or the letter of cease and desist. Sure, Nick, go ahead, Nick.
Dave, Mr. Hellman brought up the point about the drainage going all the way around the pool. Is the pool, my understanding is the pool's in the ground, right?
Yes,
And was a drain put in before the pool was put in? Because he's got it concrete around,
I certainly would hope so.
oh, I got a feeling it's not. So is there going to be a problem with hydrostatic differential?
I will get an answer on that for sure, but the drainage schematic that I've seen so far would indicate that it is in existence, and I don't think the pool installer would have put the pool in, forgetting, putting aside the patio stone, but the pool itself needs to be protected by that drainage system.
Right, I understand.
And
I think there was discussion at the last meeting that it went down, I think, the north side of the house, and it went further than designed or something, so.
it's my understanding, yes, it runs northerly from the area of the pool, then makes a turn to the west and goes down to connect with the intermittent water course that parallels Woodhouse Avenue.
Now, Aaron was out there on the 30th of October and took some pictures. And one of the pictures she shows the lawn clippings deposited in the wet meadow, southern marsh. The fact that it's not mowed indicates to me it's kind of a wetland. So we're filling in the wetland with grass clippings.
Okay.
Another little tidbit.
Personally and professionally, I have somewhat equivocation in that I do not see the dumping of material like this in a wetland as being deleterious to that wetland, because it's feeding the plant life, the soils within the wetland system. If it gets excessive and is continually used as a stockpiling for grass clippings, it becomes an issue because you kill off and you're overloading the wetland system. But if it's just from one clipping, that is not really deleterious to the wetland system. The clippings degrade.
It may be one clipping, but he must have one hell of a 5-acre lawn, because it's all in one spot.
We'll take a look at that and I'll get more information to you.
Fair enough.
I apologize. That won't happen again. My brothers mow the lawn and they kind of just dump it wherever. So we'll let them know.
Mr. Chairman, I do have another point to make, if I may. In your packet last Friday, you also got a copy of a letter from the neighbor. That's the neighbor who lives at 2 Wheatfield, which is south of this property on Woodhouse. It's the Satonics. Basically, it iterates what she was saying at the meeting on October 1st, is that she's very concerned about the water being increased to her marsh on the north side of her property, and in the letter, she says, I believe she says, I know she's called me and walked into my office several times to say, please get the water that he's going to direct. Please have him, Mr. Tello, direct it to the swale. And that's what Mr. Giuliano has done. He's directed it to the swale.
Well, I'm not going to go there until the plan comes in. Do they have a copy of her letter?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's not, what are we going to do about that tonight? Nothing.
No, but I'm making the point that Mr. Giuliano,
Well,
his
if
plan
they-
is responsive to that,
Well, if
but
they
what
don't-
is
if
not,
they come- If they come back and it's not done, then they lose again. I don't think they're planning to lose next time around, but
We just talked about it, Aaron, with David Lord, about the water, how much of the backyard was going to drain into that pipe, and go to the intermediate stream. So we've already addressed the issue that your neighbor has on Wheatfield. That's been addressed.
Except it's hard for lay people to understand what Mr. Lord said. Most people don't understand the words tight soil. They don't know what tight soil is, that kind of thing.
I've also, through email, communicated with the Satonics what we plan on doing to relieve their concerns. So they know that we are working with Giuliano and working on redirecting that water so it no longer goes into their marsh.
Yes, it's a matter of record, so I'll just say it. I actually have worked on the Satonic piece of property for a development extension or an expansion of their house, so I'm familiar with what's going on the Satonic property, and the proposal to put it into the intermittent water course is the solution that will prevent additional water from coming onto the Satonic property from to their north side.
Well, as we all know, that property has seen a lot of water over the years. Both sides are there, down at Wheatfield, up further at the other end, across the street. That pond is reduced in size naturally, I think. I don't think anyone has dumped anything in it. So we all know that these situations exist. When a person has something that's affecting their property, it seems to be certainly much more interesting, or they're more concerned about it.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. No, I understand
Yeah, so now, in what was done at that her family's property indicates it could create more of a flow to her property. Now, you're coming back and indicate that's going to be changed, the swale's going to be modified and changed, the drain. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. I think I think we all agree, we hate to see it drain to the point wetlands are drained, but this is all subsoil. You just pointed out subdrainage going on, not surface. So I think if it can be rationalized that there's no increased water traveling to the neighbor's property off of this, I think we've kind of done our job. Right,
And
Jim?
you're going to get an answer through Giuliano's office to that regard.
Yeah, I think in the letters, there was comments made with regard to checking with legal department as to whether or not they could cap that pipe. Not a good idea. I can understand the desire to do something like that if it's hurting your property. The thing is, whenever you do something, it's going to change everything. You may not have more water at any given moment, but you will have more water over the longer period of time because of what you are doing with draining an area. In natural water tables, you're talking about an area at the base of a pretty serious slope. I guess that is northeast of you, up the hill. And all that water comes down, hits the bedrock you described, when they put the pool right on top of the bedrock, so there's no place for the water to drain that comes down the soils from that slope. So it builds up underneath that pool. Now you've got a drain system. First question that came to my mind, when did you recognize there was a problem? Has there been an issue with movements in there with water already coming in, or is it already properly drained, which I hope the engineers did? You are going to have more water into that neighbor's property forever as long as you are taking the water that's coming down that hill underneath that pool and transporting it to another location. However, in Giuliano's paper, he mentions the fact that they're going to not have this, if I'm not mistaken, not have this pipe here eventually. It's going to be routed elsewhere. Do I have that correct? He said it make this a moot point.
My reading of the information that I've got at this point is that the existing pipe alongside of the shed structure, which points south, is adding more water directly in the direction of the Satonic property. This proposal, and what you'll see at the next meeting, is the water that's collected around the pool is going to be drained through pipes in the northwestern corner of the Tello property into a well-defined watercourse channel which runs through through the Tello property and the Satanic property, because again, I've looked at and flagged the wetlands on the Satanic property. That's not going to cause the problems that I believe the Satanics are experiencing from sheet flow over the surface of the wetland that's coming up against the north side of their house. So there's the water and the improvement that we're going to be doing with the drainage system that we're talking about is going to eliminate that increase in discharge in the direction directly towards the Satanic house and that wetland system. Said that right.
Looking at this map that was handed out tonight from Giuliano, I believe, yeah, the road in the front of the property runs north-south, but they are picking up that water from the pool area, taking it south, and then they're running it west down to the road, where the natural drain is along the road there. Is that what these pipes are showing here?
No,
red one
we're
on the-
taking the water from around the pool, collecting it in a pipe and running it north.
I think, David, I think they're referring to this over here. The blue
That's not what
will
this map
drain down
shows.
over here. I think you're referring to this, to the green. These are two separate.
Amy.
So all the drainage from the patio.
I think we have to wait till we get more information.
And a more clear map.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we'll need some clarification on that.
yeah.
Just one quick thing, though, the running it along parallel Woodhouse Avenue, is that in the state part of their right-of-way? Which is a natural thing. I mean, their feeder road for 150 has got to be, 80 feet wide at least.
I'd have to get you an answer on that. It's an existing drainage way now,
Yeah, that's-
and we're dumping into that. So
I
I
just-
don't think there's any, and again, the volumes we're talking about, we're talking in gallons.
Oh, yeah, no.
An hour.
There's not a question, it's just that
It's
if we got to,
so minute, there will be no,
if we've got to.
noticeable.
If we got to argue, not argue, if we have to discuss with anybody and say, well, wait a minute, that, you don't really own that anyway. That's a natural flow the state of Connecticut has, if that's the case. That's pretty much it. All right, any other questions, commissioners?
Not at this point.
Anybody else? All right, I think you're all set for another 30 days.
very good, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, Aaron put the potential calendar for next month in the packet. Oh, yeah. But it's not on the agenda.
Yes.
One more minute, you guys?
Get it out there.
Hang on, no problem.
Did you have a motion?
Aaron put the agenda for the dates of the meetings next month, but it's not on the agenda. So if anybody has any objections, if not, we'll discuss the schedule for the meetings. Anybody see any problem with the meetings, with the exception of, I guess we're looking at the July, August category? What's the split? Got to be the beginning of August. What's,
I'm not sure where you're at.
Here it is.
Usually do the end of July
Yeah,
and combine July,
the
August.
last week.
We
by
usually,
July, August? So
yeah, we usually combine July and August and move the August to the
are
3rd
we
This is what?
going to?
or 4th.
So they might vote this in November? Oh, this is proposed, okay.
This year's August. where
There's not to be voted tonight.
Caroline's
I
house.
don't know what he's doing. I don't really know what's up.
Looking at your house, just
I mean, they're just talking about what's
Okay.
convenient for them, right?
All right.
Yes.
Somewhere around July 30th, doesn't most people start vacations August and August? So you want to go July 30th?
Yeah.
That splits the thing, well, that, no,
In
that's a Friday.
2006, the Wednesday
Gotta be
is
29th.
going to be the 29th. So
That's
the
a Thursday.
22nd or the 29th,
29th is Wednesday, right?
yes.
29.
Okay.
July
So this-
29?
July 29th takes care of the July and August meeting.
Okay, August, no meeting. So this is what you're going to rework and vote on next month. Aaron will rework
We can
this.
vote on it tonight. This isn't a thing that has to be worried about next month. I'll entertain a motion to accept this agenda with the July meeting, or the July-August meeting beyond July 29th.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that the Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Commission meeting scheduled for 2026 be accepted with the dates on the draft, with the exception of combining July 1st and August 5th to a July 29th meeting.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passed. Okay?
Thank you.
Off the agenda, thank you. All right, if there's nothing else tonight, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Motion made in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.